Hello everyone. Gonna go over the Class A's, which are the big ones. They normally have a big old window like this. I drive these every single week between all the different looking ones. I don't drive the ones where the engine's in the back. Right there, the engine's underneath this one. Underneath this area on this one. But this is a big Class A. I call it big, but there is bigger, and they're also a lot nicer. I already made a video on what's wrong with the Class C's that I run into. This is 2021, so if you're looking before that, they change every year, but this is with the new 7.3 from Ford gas. There used to be a 7.3 diesel. This is a 7.3 gas. I like it a lot. It replaced the V10. The power's pretty nice, but I'm going to start off with that, I guess. You only get 6 to 7 miles to the gallon no matter what size you're running on the Class A's, at least with the engine up front. The pushers are in the rear. I don't do them. But a good way to just up your mileage just a little bit, because for some reason 6th gear, which is a 6-speed automatic, it just doesn't feel like it wants to stay in overdrive. You can hit a little tiny hill and it'll kick out overdrive. If you shift this thing down to the M, right there, M, you can run it manually, and the manual actually stays in its gear almost no matter what happens. So if you want to dog it down going up a hill, you get better gas mileage. And I've went from getting 6 miles to the gallon clear up to getting 9 from using that instead of letting it shift itself. Basically on mountains, you're going to have to let it do its own thing. But if you forget that that is in manual mode and you come up to a stop, it will be in the wrong gear when you go to take off, and it'll feel like something's wrong. Which is kind of nice because, like with cars, if you tell it to stay in a gear, it will not stay in the gear. It'll shift out. That's a complaint. Obviously, I'm going over the complaints. When you guys look at a brochure, you can see how awesome these things are for the price. The price of these are $150,000 almost. You can get the little, actually there's one right next to me. You can get one like that for $150,000. So the price is really crazy. Another problem with these, which I have not had in a long time, is the window will whistle. And I mean it whistles bad. I have I don't know where my headset went. I have headphones that I listen to the radio because I don't mess with anything in the units when I'm delivering them. But it's louder than my headset, and it's so loud. But I think they fixed that. It's been a while, but it's definitely something you want to check out because they do try to get away with stuff. An issue that I run into a lot is this one don't have it, but the mirror is black on the front side. Some of them, the mirror just like that, they will put a chrome cover on it. Now when I'm looking everywhere, this one don't bug me, but if I look over there real quick, chrome reflects, and that chrome will be so shiny that it looks like an extra mirror. I've been doing this 7 years and I have not gotten used to that chrome cover yet. I'll look over, it'll either shine something in my face, or I'll think it's another mirror. Or when I'm driving down the road, if a certain light reflects on it, like a police light or something, I'll look over real quick, I'll be like, whoa, 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 and I'll look over thinking somebody's there, because people go really fast compared to what these do. These are governed to 75, I think. I only do 65 because that's the best gas mileage, and I get paid on I get prepaid, so my gas mileage is what I really go for. And what I was telling you about with using this, that was all at 65 mile an hour. The wind definitely affects it too. Another thing I don't like with different brands is, this is a Jayco, I believe. Coachman. These little covers right here on top of here that keep these in. Jayco is having a problem keeping these on, which keep these little tabs in. They finally fixed that. Coachman though, if you just put your finger right here and go like that, that'll pop right off and go flying. These little things fall in. And it's been that way for 3 years now. I don't know why they can't get it fixed. But yeah, you can set something in there and touch it the way I touch it, and it'd fall right off. Another issue is Jayco and Coachman. Your engine's right underneath there. Coachman, I think, has fixed it, but underneath there's your engine. Yeah, there's a bunch of heat dampening and sound dampening things, but that's hot enough that I have like Chef Boyardee that I take on the road. I'll put it in here, I'll actually heat it up to almost a boil, it feels like, because you can't touch the tin. That's your cup holder. That's supposed to keep your drinks nice and cool. You're putting your drinks right on top of the hot engine. And especially if you're stopped letting it run, going into the store or something. I don't know what you're doing, but that's your engine heat heating up your cup holders, which makes absolutely no sense. Don't know what's going on there. Okay, now for this bright thing. Coachman puts theirs up here. The FR3s put theirs up here. I run the reverse camera just to know that everything's going all right. The radio isn't quite as bright. It's still super bright at night. But I end up putting my sweater over it or something because it gets so bright at night. You can't turn it down. You can when you turn down the settings, it turns down the little lights in the front lower part here. But yeah, that's another pain. And another thing is there's a GPS built into this, which is no problem, but it's a normal GPS. Now, this thing's full 13.6. We're as tall as that semi right there. At least they tell us that. I've never really gotten out and measured it or anything, but with the ACs and all that, we're as tall as a semi. So we cannot go under all the bridges that are inside of some towns. This GPS will take you anywhere and everywhere because it's built for a car. I have most semi drivers have the same thing. It's a Diesel cam. Diesel. The other ones are some other brand. It's a semi mode, and it will take you underneath. Or it won't take you underneath. It'll only keep you on roads. See, come back up here. It will only take you on roads that don't have low bridges or bridges that can't handle the weight. It's great. See, I hit that. I can set up my truck and all that. Okay, at 13.6. Would put it on 13.4, but then it goes spastic. But no, that's super nice to have. So this GPS isn't going to get you everywhere. But if you're just going places where you already know you're at, which most people that buy a motorhome go super far. But I drive really far and I don't know where I'm at. I don't know where the low bridges are at. So this GPS is really nice. But the thing is, you got to have a place to plug that in. There is no cigarette lighters in this unit. Coachman, I think, still running 2 cigarette lighters, but they're clear over on this side. So the chance that your cord will reach clear over is very slim, and you're not going to put your GPS 4 feet in front of you on the window because you're going to have to
Please drive to highlighted
click
route.
Stuff like that. That ain't going to get off the screen. So I have to run this inverter that I found on Amazon. It's like $7 for 2 of them. It goes from 5 volt to 12 volt. It works okay, but this is also the only USB port in the front area that will charge stuff at a fast pace. There is one down here, but that one connects to the radio. So when you plug into there, your radio keeps pulling the crap off your phone. I don't really care for that. But this is a shared USB, so if you're sucking too much off of this, it kills the power to this, and this needs every bit of power it can get to charge your device. So you'll be driving along, all of a sudden it'll start flashing saying low battery. It's kind of a pain. This unit I'm currently driving doesn't have that problem. But yeah, that's all right. And then the main problem, you have a huge cab on these things. Huge cab. And then you got to heat all of this driving down the road. And there's always going to be a leak. Always going to be a leak in the little corners here. Not a water leak, but just the air is going to get through it somehow. Or it's going to come through the little vents. So you're going to feel a draft floating through it. Not all of them are awful drafts. I normally feel it down by my feet. They used to tell us... Hold on, I got to flip a light on. They used to tell us there was a... Well, that light did nothing. Hold on. Yeah, that light kind of did something. So there's too many lights down here. There's also touch ones. Them are awful. Can't see them at night. But they used to give us plastic. I don't know what happened to that plastic. But hopefully you guys can see that. I put a bed sheet and little clamps up there to keep the heat and AC up in the cab area. If not, you will freeze. Freeze. No matter what you're doing. If it's below 50 degrees, you will freeze. So I got to put a little net up there, or a little cloth. They used to have a piece of plastic that they actually told us to keep up here and fold it down, and it'll keep you nice and cool. And heat. Because another thing is, also I don't read the brochure, but they probably tell you can run the furnace going down the road. Because I know the refrigerators, they have propane going down the road. That's a open flame going down the road. Think it's really concealed. I don't know if you can do that with the furnace, but think about all this room in here that you have to heat and cool. And if you got breeze through here, it's sucking it through the front of the vehicle and right out the back. So you have none of it. Now that's for the heat. For the air conditioner, it's a whole different story. You got to do the same thing if it's over 70 degrees outside. And you got this huge window. The direct sun is just beating on the dash. You can lower down the thing just a little bit so it offsets the sun baking you a little bit, but it don't make a difference. With the air conditioner, with this model at least, or this new style of 2021 and 22, at 55 mile an hour, that's all the faster you can go if you want AC. If you do 65, the temperature, you can feel it, just the vents, they're right on you. I even shut off the other vents, so I only have the vents shooting on me. The vent, you can feel after 55 mile an hour, the temperature just drop from the AC blowing on you. Then after 65, there is no cold air coming out of it. So at 65, that's all you get. And at idle, it barely has AC for some reason. I don't know why, but it's definitely underpowered. You have to use this cloth to keep it down. But at 55, you lose your AC. It doesn't work anymore. I don't know what happens after 55 mile an hour, but it just turns to crap. And yeah, you'll start sweating. Your back will start sweating on all these nice leather seats that they put in these things. It really affects the drive. And for how much you pay for this compared to a Class C, so far I would be going with the Class C. Also, it's really nice that we have a backup camera. Some of these brands are still messing up here. You can see the back of the unit. Some units are putting the gas fill, on the very back end of the unit, which means it's right underneath that ladder. That don't bug me because I have all my gas stations picked out. But when you're on a Class A, say you're a 38-foot FR3, I think them are the ones that put it on the back. You need to look out for this, because if you don't know your gas stations very well, you have to put you'll see the gas pump come up and then you stop. That means you are 38 foot forward of the gas pump, which means normally you're going to be in someone's way. Unless you get lucky to where there's double pumps, but some places I go, that pump won't work, so you got to pull forward. Then you got the car there. But if you go too far forward, you're in someone's way. You're either in the parking for the front of the building. But yeah, I would so much, even though I don't even own any of these, I would much rather have the gas tank on the left side of the unit. Sometimes they even put them on the right side when I first started doing this. But when it's on the back, just think you gotta be however long your unit is, that far forward of the gas pump, which means you're gonna piss off a lot of people. And I've pissed off so many people. And also, when you go forward, if you have a tow car, some tow cars don't like you to back up. Mine is one of them. So if you get yourself into a sticky bunch, you can't get out. Luckily, these are gas units, and a lot of pilots have like a side area for RVs, which is kind of nice, but you're not under a lean-to, which you get rained on. The sun bakes them panels to where some of them don't even work. But yeah, I think that's all. I just want to help people out, because the heat in the AC is the worst thing. If you're hot in here because you got the AC on, it's not working, you're gonna get wore out. You're gonna get fatigued quicker. Normally you buy these to drive far.